Hey there, amazing traders. Welcome back to this week's Forex forecast. As an obligation to always show up here to give you guys the insight towards the Forex market and some other uh, financial markets, I owe it to you guys as my noble self to always teach you guys the right thing. So here we have the dollar index, which is on the weekly time frame. You can see that last week was pretty much um, bullish movement. We had that bullish movement from 105, which was a very, very tangible one for us. So we had this descending channel right from 2023 October, which we have seen the market respecting for some while now, and then we have this ascending trend line, which we started last year December, and then we have seen that the market has been respecting that so much because of how technical analysis really works. So for last week, we are looking at candlesticks. We are looking at how the market closed for last week, which is a very important one for us also to note, and then we know exactly what the market is trying to tell us to do. So for last week's trading, which we have here, the dodgy candlestick, let's look on the monthly time frame. Let's see what the monthly time frame is telling us. So the previous month we had this bearish candlestick, and then for this month, I think today is 30th of um, June, which the month will be ending tomorrow. So by paraventure, if the month ends as a bullish engulfing from this end, then we'll call it an overall bullish movement. By the way, the dollar index is very much bullish because of what we have seen over the years from top-down analysis. We've noted that the dollar index is very bullish, and then we know what to do. We are following the trend. We are looking to be trading the trend. There's really nothing to go against the trend for. So from my own experience and from the candlestick patterns we have on reaching this zone here, the dollar has given us that indecision candlestick, which also stands as the sellers and the buyers in the market do not really know where the market is going to go exactly. The sellers and the buyers in the market do not really know where the market is going to go exactly, which is why we are going to fold our hands and then look towards this week on the daily time frame, what is really going to happen, what candlestick patterns are going to be shown to us to decide whether we are going to get a break out of this triangular pattern, we retest the descending trend line, then we continue selling on the dollar index. But I still remain very bullish because of how we rejected from this zone, and then we have seen the dollar index in that ascending momentum for a very long time. And then coming to this was a low here, this was a high here, this was a low here, this was a high here, this is a low here. So we are also expecting that the market will in turn give us that higher high here, maybe come back to retest the top of this descending uh, trend line, which if we deliberately get that breakout from this descending trend line, then that would be a massive bullish momentum for us up to 110 per dollar. So for now, we are still very much indecisive because of what the candlestick for last week showed us on the dollar index. I want you guys to pay close attention because this is very important. You want to be trading candlesticks, chart patterns. You want to know what exactly the candles are telling you at this particular time to do, to stay out of the market or to stay in the market. You have to be very cautious about all these things. So looking at here, we know that for last week's trading, we saw that this dodgy candlestick, which is giving us a hint on what the market is really want to do. And then we do know that the dodgy candlestick stands for indecision in the market, and then even when you see the dodgy candlestick in an overall uptrend, you know how to trade it, which is to ignore it, or it also stands as a continual pattern to the upside, or it also stands as a reversal pattern to the downside. So let's go down to the weekly to the daily time frame to see what exactly is happening there. So from the daily time frame, we have been seeing the dollar index making this constant high, low, and then high. We had the last low, which the market closed somewhere around this um this key level here, which is 105.849, which is 105.8854. The market closed somewhere around there for last week. So what I'm going to be expecting is for a further break above here. If we do see a momentum push up to the upside, if we do see that break above here, then we should be looking higher towards 110.000, and then potentially we reach our overall targets for the dollar index. This is very, very important because you want to be trading with the trend. I never come on here and then change my own bias. My own bias still stands as a bullish momentum. Now, if that comes back to retest this area before we blow all the way to the upside, that's really, really fine because fulfilling all technical analysis. You can remember when we saw the close down below here, we saw the close above, we came back to retest this key level here. We had there came back to retest this key level here before we saw that continual pattern to the upside. So this is what I'm really, really wanting to explain to you guys. For a matter of fact, I wasn't supposed to make this video, but for my noble self and the dedication I have to you guys, I have to come on here and then clear the air for you guys so that you stay abreast of the market's conditions. You understand? So you know exactly what you are doing in the forex market. So that's all for the dollar index. The next currency pair I want us to look at is the Euro USD, which is slightly the inverse of what we have on the dollar index. So looking at the weekly time frame, we have seen that what I was saying from last week, which is evident to what really, really happened last week, was we had the week before last week, the prior week before last week, we had this dodgy candlestick here. We had this dodgy candlestick, which I was saying for our own criteria entry, we should be waiting for that 50% retracement, which we really had that 50% retracement, and then still the market closed below the key level, of 1.07262, which is another high point for us to also take note on. And then you can see how the market is still shying away from this zone, and you know that the market seeks liquidity so much that it wants to fulfill technical analysis in conjunction with what we have on the news events, the unemployment claims, and then the other ones, NFP and stuff like that. And moreover, NFP will be coming up, I think, this week, which if we have NFP coming up on Friday, then we should really know that it's going to be a very, very indecisive week for us because of what we saw on the dollar index and what the Euro USD is showing us from this end. So the weekly time frame has also given us this kind of dodgy candlestick, but it is not an ideal dodgy candlestick, which I still feel we might still have that retracement to retest this level before we see that continuation to the downside. But on a contrary note, we know that this was a previous area of support, and then we have seen that the market has broken down below here. The market has broken down below here, which we still have that room on shorting the euro dollar to the downside because this key level here is a very, very strong key level, because if you look to the past, this area has been the market stopping point for some while now. Because anytime the market comes here, it's continues. Anytime it comes here, retest it and then continues. Anytime it comes here, retest it and then continues. So what I'm really going to be expecting is for what the daily time frame is going to show us. As you can see, I short the euro dollar from this level, and pretty much we haven't seen any tangible movement on the euro dollar, which I still feel we might still come in here and then retest this zone before we see that continuation to the downside. So But for the meantime, my positions will still be on. If I see any closure of candlestick above here, I will just gladly move my own uh stop loss to around this area, which is right about. So I'll move my own stop loss because I'm still going to come in here and then retest this level here. I'm still going to come in and then retest this level here. But if that doesn't happen, then we are still stuck beneath this key level here. So for the meantime, my bearish bias still stands on the euro dollar because of what exactly the market is showing us to do and how I've been trading for quite some time now. It's very, very important. You understand that my own trading style hasn't really changed. My own trading style hasn't really changed. So I just need you guys to understand what exactly the market is trying to show us. You guys to understand what exactly the market is trying to show us so you know what you are going to be facing in the market as time goes on. So the next currency pair I want us to look at is the pound sterling, which is the pound dollar. Very, very much bearish from the weekly time frame. Let's see what the candle closed for the weekly time frame for last week. So on the contrary, we still have the candlestick closing as uh, the dodgy candlestick like that of which we had on the dollar index. So what I'm going to be expecting for the GBP USD is for a retracement back to the 50% uh, level. You guys already know my own entry move. Guys already know my own entry move. If we do get a retracement somewhere around there, then I'll be going short on the GBP USD all the way to this key level here of 1.25 thousand. Going short on this key level because we are pretty much still stuck around this area, and then you can see the rejections of this candlestick from this area, which is still telling you that this is very much bearish. This is very, very bearish. This is very, very bearish. So remain on the bearish side of it for now till the market tells you that I am no longer bearish. So let's continue buying. You understand? That is very much explained. So I'm going to be expecting that pullback to retest this area. Let's go on the daily time frame to see what exactly I'm talking about. So I'm going to be expecting that pullback to retest this area. Let's say we retest this area again, and I'll be going short on this bad guy here. My stop loss will come right above this uh my stop loss will come right above this area here, which is a very good one. My stop loss will come here, then my overall take profit will be to this level here. Overall take profit will be this level here. So this is what I'll be expecting for the GBP USD for next week, which I'm very, very bearish on. And then my bias still remains that the GBP is still bearish up to this point here, this point of this trend line. We have this point here, and then we have this point here. So this should be our own first level take profit, and then this should be our own second level take profit. So the next currency pair I want us to look at is the GBP JPY. There's really nothing much to talk about. We've just been seeing that bullish momentum. Remember, I called this trade out from this level here, which we have been seeing that bullish momentum. And then my overall target for this is to this level 210.000. If we do have that move to this level, then that will be a massive, massive move. But unfortunately, this trade stopped me out from joining this from this level here. If now I would have been in massive profit by now. Since then, I haven't gotten any chance of trading. I haven't gotten any chance of trading this at all, but that is fine. It's all for the best. I'm just doing it so that we know that it is really, really not easy. But then once you understand the concept of your own strategy, you can be able to navigate the forex market the way you really, really want to do that. So the next currency pair I want us to look at is AUD USD. AUD USD. AUD USD took me out on a loss of $400, which was a very, very planned loss. Had it been it went to my favor, I would have been getting like $2,000 from it. But unfortunately, it took me out on that loss, and then completely stayed out of the market. Completely stayed out of the market while trading the other currency pairs that were ready to trend. So for this, I'm still expecting the market to clear this yellow bar here. If we get a clear of this yellow bar, that will be very, very massive for us to trade. If we get a clear of this yellow bar, that will be very, very massive to trade. So once we see a clear of that yellow bar, then our next target should be 0.60,000. Our next target should be 0.60,000. So the contrary, let's wait for the market to give us that bearish pattern. Once we see that bearish pattern, as you can see, the market has gone into absolute range from this level here. The market has been in that absolute range. So we are going to be waiting for that breakout. Once we have that breakout on the Aussie dollar, then we should be looking forward towards where that direction has broken out from. So just touching this price so that we know exactly what we want to do. So and again on gold, gold has really, really given us that much moment movement in the last couple of days. Remember, guys, that this gold is very, very volatile, and then you have to follow the trend. You have to follow the trend. You have to really, really follow the trend to understand what you are doing. So from the monthly time frame, the month hasn't really closed yet, but then we are still expecting that this closes as a bearish month for us. So we know exactly what we are doing. If we are going to be shutting this down to 200 or potentially to this level here, But my overall target will be to the 2200, because anything below the 2200 will be kind of consolidation before we have that bullish momentum again. Will be kind of consolidation before we have that bullish momentum again. So coming down to the weekly time frame, has really, really the weekly time frame has nothing to show apart from this dodgy candlestick, which is a bit of concern to me because I'm already short on this bad guy from last week from the retest of 2341.75. I went short on this bad guy from the retest of 2341.75, which has yielded much profit on my own equity return. So looking at the daily time frame, I want to highlight what we should be focusing on. The daily time frame has given us this dodgy candlestick, which again is telling us that the market really does not know, the traders does not really know who is in charge of the market, whether the bears or the bulls, which I am still putting under consideration of still going short, because as it stands now, the market is still showing signs of immature selling pressure, which I want us to consider before we start selling on the euro on gold. So for now, just need you guys to watch. If any update shows up, I'll update you guys in the WhatsApp group. So this is all for this week's Forex forecast. I want you guys to always manage your risk, do the right thing, and be patient for your edge to happen in the market before you take that trade. I'll catch you guys during the week.